Hey everybody, Texas Trucker here, Lance's Performance Shop, Lone Star, Mopars.com. It's Mopar Monday. I am home right before 7. Almost don't know what to do with myself. That doesn't happen often when you've been getting off at like 8:30. Getting home before 7 is a big deal. That extra hour and a half. So how do I spend it? Like this. And this is something, sadly, I think like 2 Harbor Freight tool hauls ago, which was the big Icon tiered discount sale. We picked up the mag mats, the long extensions, and then the one right before this would be the UV light. That was my 4 items. This is something I wanted, but of course they excluded this and creepers, so I couldn't have it as one of my 4 items. This has been on sale a lot, frequently, here recently, and varying sales. Problem I have is I can never get to the store. Like I said, you get off 8:30 and Harbor Freight closes at 8. Well, I'm not going to make it to town in time, so finally did this weekend. This was the last one at the store I was at, and I snagged it for $79.99. These have gone up in price a lot. I think that sale of $80 was 35 off. So basically, like, these are what, $115, $120, somewhere in that range probably. Is it worth it? I don't know. I say it's kind of sad because also, in addition to just missing it and it not being on sale, I had asked if any of you had this thing and if you were using it in conjunction with a titanium welding table. That's their little kind of thin top one with the, 5/8 holes in it. And I have that specific request because that's what I want to do with this. And I don't know that it's going to be tall enough. You're thinking like, idiot, could you not tell? Well, they like strap the chairs and you can measure, but then how much space do you take up? And long story short, like all this time I've been teaching myself to TIG weld, I've been standing up. There's times like your foot kind of starts to get a little cramped up, right? And I kind of wondered like, hey, would this be a little easier if I was actually seated? And that's what I want to do with this. Worst comes to worst, I can use this as the creeper seat here. I've got like a really old Harbor Freight one, like probably from the 90s. Aside from bending 2 casters, it's pretty good. I got new casters for it a couple years ago. But the other thing I can do if this thing sucks or doesn't do what I want it to do here is take it to work. I don't have a creeper seat currently at work. I just have a bunch of old handmade stools. So I figured, hey, it's kind of a win-win. But the hope and dream is it does what I want it to here. If it doesn't work, I will ask your opinion, and I would imagine I would get this video out before there's a big sale. But the other thing I've considered is the Vyper Chair, right? You see the commercials on TV, at least that's where I see them. The problem is, anytime I try to find information on said chair, it's every single video minus one they were sent out to the person. And not many people fight the hand that feeds, and that becomes grossly apparent, as you kind of realize what goes on behind the scenes. But at the same time, it seems like they should be really good. Now, the price is ridiculously high. Granted, if you're using it all the time, it's kind of like, if you sit there and you try to justify a computer or a cell phone, it's like, well, hey, I'm going to use that every day. And if I get 5 years, that's like nothing. That's kind of where something like the Vyper Chair would play it, and you could almost, it's a really hard pill to swallow, but you could almost be like, you know what, that is worth it. Especially if you've been rolling around on a piece of trash, like my bent castered stuff, you kind of get old real fast with that sometimes. Depends on the angle and the rotation, I should say. But that will be my next option here because, quite frankly, the only other thing I know to do is get like an office chair, and I just don't want one out here. So we're going to roll with that. But if you haven't seen these, I went with the blue. They have green. They have red. I'm not sure that they have black. They possibly could, but they're all going to be the same price. They did, I think, again, something I will say positive for Icon, I think they honestly package things fairly well. If I drop you down over here, you've got the same presentation on this side. That way, whether they stack these on a shelf, stack them on the floor, put them on some rack of some sort, have them oriented up, oriented down, you always have kind of the product information available for the employees and the consumer in this case. But I can tell you if you see this and you're thinking, oh, 79 is not bad, but do they have anything cheaper? Yes, they do. They've got kind of the style of creeper seat I had. I think they have a round one. They have like a biker seat one. I don't know that I've ever even tried to sit on one of those, and they might be around this price actually, but they do have some slightly cheaper ones. I think the one I have is like the $19.99 special. You know, it's been good aside from the casters, but again, buying something online, whether it's Vyper Chair for $400 to $600 or something that you think looks better than this that's reasonably priced and similarly priced to this, if you can't put your butt in it, you don't know, and you're buying blindly, and that kind of sucks. So do I roll around in the one at the store to the extent of the little aviation cable will let me? I sure do. And it's like third or fourth time I've done it, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna give it a go. So here we are. I got dinner in the oven, so I'll try to get through this thing. Should have told you at the start, you should know, I actually do timestamps. They're there for your convenience. I'll have this linked. I don't make jack off of that. It's literally there for your convenience in the event you want to order online or try to check stock at your local store. But where is it? Right there. Item number 58659. That's what you want to use. Don't be confused by an Icon part number. That'll get you nowhere. You want to use that item number. They're going to dub this thing the Professional Adjustable Shop Seat with Tool Storage. So it's 360 degrees, 300-pound capacity, chemical-resistant PVC seat cover for durability and comfort. The seat height adjusts, and yes, I was aware of this and tried to see like, oh, would this work or not. 17.5 to 21.5. There's a 19-inch diameter storage base with 2 magnetic trays built in, and they're going to claim heavy-duty 3 3/8 casters. So just looking at it again, it kind of is funky. You'd think like, what are they doing here? That kind of looks like a low back seat. That's exactly what it is. This is not a full back seat. This is not like a desk or office chair. This is not, you know, spaced with that same size cushion at your mid back. It's just kind of a low back chair. So leaning back, I don't know. You know, I've demoed it shortly in store, and I was willing to give it a go. Looks fairly decently built, again, for $80 on sale. I don't think I would advocate paying the $115, $120 for this, but on sale, it's probably worth a shot. Right there, the funky looking things that look like cell phone holders or something, those are the magnetic trays. And from what I understand, reviews I've read on the website, slice this thing open, you basically just like drop the chair into the tube into the stand or something, so it should be fairly simple. I don't think there's any other information. Let's thud that down. Yeah, same thing, just a larger footprint there. So I'm going to cut this thing open. We'll see what it looks like inside. Hopefully we didn't just damage it. But we'll check that out and drop it together. And ultimately, I know I'll be content with it. You know, like I could wheel around and do wheels and tires, or, you know, run a clay bar for hours on end or something. But again, I specifically got this to hopefully be able to sit. It's not a fancy welding table. It's not a custom welding table. It is the Harbor Freight titanium one. So I will wheel it over there. We will see where we wind up and take it in stride. But like I said, I'll cut this open. We'll see how she's packed, get it together, and see if we're happy or disappointed. Alright, so tier 1 sliced and diced, as always with anything like this, soft cushiony material. Be careful, you don't know how the seat will be positioned. Maybe somebody bought this, returned it, has it oriented upside down or something. Just be aware you could cut into something. That said, you'd have to have a really long blade or be using a sawzall to hit this. But that's what we've got. We've got the instruction manual upside down. The seat pad is down. There's no plastic bag or anything. I kind of thought they would have done that, just kind of keep grease and grime off of her. But that appears to be all of tier 1. So we'll lift this out and see what is below. Alright, just if you're curious, since it's here and it's easy to do it now, that is the blue of the Icon creeper seat with US General blue. That's a little $99 cart single drawer. This is the Series 2 42-inch. So there's kind of your color. You're not going to really complain about it. It's perfect, no, but if that's what you got it to go with, you'd be fine. Pulling that out right there, this is what we have below. We've got the base. It looks like the base is in fact fully assembled. And as long as somewhere underneath that we have the center pole, we should be in good shape. So let's lift this thing out and see what else we've got. All right, I was getting worried there for a second. They actually boxed this thing. I was thinking, I'm going to have to take this stupid thing back, and they're probably not going to believe me. But yeah, it looks like the tube will be there. So this is the base out of the pack. We'll go ahead and get that opened up, drop her down, and see how it looks. In all honesty, while this is still apart, I might carry that over to the Icon box just to give you a color sample too. You ever carry something over somewhere and realize you've had a spider on your sleeve? Yeah, it's not zoomed in, but I gotta go. I gotta kill something. All right, I just came over here, realized I had a spider on my sleeve, and not sure if I'll leave that part in or not. But, I don't think I'm dying, and I haven't turned into Spider-Man yet, so we'll roll with that. But speaking of rolling, we ain't doing that. It's not assembled. However, that is the Icon Blue with the Icon Blue box. I'd say it's a pretty good match. Again, you got different materials, obviously steel versus whatever the seat is, but would you have a complaint? No. Could it be closer? Possibly. I think they did a decent job there. I would assume the green and the red would match fairly well, respectively. But with that said, I'm going to go grab everything else for the stool, throw it together, and we'll spin over here to the welding table. Alright, so just kind of studying this thing, they actually seem to have done a fairly nice job on the base, the metalwork. Technically, you know, you could have beefed it up a little bit with like stronger legs, I would guess would be the weak point. But the tray itself seems good. Magnet didn't seem super strong. I'm basing it on that hex key. They did include a hex key for you to attach the casters. Ironically, the casters are already attached. I guess it's kind of like a maintenance, you know, tighten it up type of a thing. But that is a 5mm from VHA, so that's what I would roll with. And basically all we need to do to assemble it, we take the tube, we press it down in there, and then we press the seat on top of that. So I'll go ahead and try to make that happen. So right there is the tube. I don't guess we've gotten to show that in all its unboxed glory, but I'm going to claim 300-pound weight limit on that. There's a serial number on it, all that good stuff. Looks like the bottom is open, so we will simply set that in place, crack this off, and attempt to do this one-handed, which might be hard to do just because you can't see well. There we go. Supposed to use two hands to press it down evenly, but look at us being rebellious rock stars. There we go. So it does adjust. Again, obviously, to raise it, you're going to lift the lever with your weight not applied, and to lower it, you can lift the lever with your weight applied. Very simple. So there she is. I'm going to actually move some stuff so I can wheel over there. Actually, I can't move it, so I'm just going to pick this up and drop it down by the foot pedal and see how we like it. Alright, I am not sure that this is the greatest representation of anything, but if you're in your local Harbor Freight, they should have an Icon box of some setup, right? Maybe not blue, maybe not the big one, maybe the smaller one, but the height's going to be the same. And if I come in here, okay, I've got this stool as high up as it goes, and I am basically, I don't know, coming out, my arms are almost straight. Obviously, if you're taller, you might even have to go down, but for myself, my arm is up at maybe 5 to 10 degree angle. So nothing crazy, but I'll be straight up honest with you, I would not want to do paperwork at that height. Now, the wrench drawer, drawer 2, that would be like an ideal desk height with this thing set up. However, again, we'll set you up right here. I'm going to grab the lever, and we're going down. So you ready for it? I'll just go all the way in 3, 2, 1. There we are. So that drops it down. This, my arm is up probably 30 degrees, 35 degrees up to the stainless steel work surface. This is not a terrible height at all. In fact, once I move this, I'll give you kind of some better representations, including what I'm worried about, which is the welding table. Well, 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 it looks like it can stay. I'm pretty happy right now, if nothing else, that I've put off the feeling of the sense that I will need to buy a Vyper stool or something. So we're at the titanium welding table, and I'm sitting here, and this is unlike the Icon, which I'll get you a pan over to in a second. I wish I was slightly taller. I'm not gonna lie, I've not tried the foot pedal yet, but this, I mean, literally, you know, it's a thin tabletop. If you have one of these, you know. I'm right here, so I mean, this is basically perfect chili dog height, hands on the table, you know, impress your date type of a thing. Up just, I'm talking like another 1.5 to 3 inches might be perfect. But I think this is doable, and if you look down, all right, ignore the dirty shop floor, you got my pedal, and this is something that's going to be super nice for me. I can sit and TIG weld now, because I'm telling you, it's when you've always MIG welded, the foot pedal's a weird thing, right? I've gotten used to it now, but it's kind of weird standing. You're sitting there, and what happens to me, you know, I'm just trying to move both hands, and then it's like, you know, the foot pedal, you know, I'm like, I kind of need this to roll over, and it's kind of sucks sometimes. So this is going to be very nice. Again, if we step down here, articulation, full amps, halfway, throttle. Yeah, it's a little easier to do that in the seated position. Imagine driving your car, you're racing a buddy. And he's got a seat, and your milk crate was left out by your girlfriend, so you're just kind of standing, squatting in your car, trying to step down on the pedal. It's kind of like that. So I think this is doable. I do think this is doable. So just to sort of help put this in perspective, if I hold, the camera is about at chest height. If I was bench pressing you right now, this is about where you would be. So when I roll this direction, that is the Icon, right? You're looking across an angle grinder to the Icon. The top shiny portion is the trim of the socket drawer. If I go up, that's the stainless top, all right? So hopefully between these two, you kind of know, but the big thing, and I can't speak for like other, you know, probably better, more expensive welding tables, but if you have the thing I have, well, you know, it's decent for what it is. I don't want to bag on it too much. I like it. This will actually work, and if you've been standing, I think this would be a huge upgrade, because my other option was a bucket. So this works. Right over here, I've got a creeper seat. I bought one from Harbor Freight. I don't know if I ever made a video on that, but it was missing pieces. It was a pain in the butt. Then it was always out of stock. And that one is actually from Adams. And you can see that is way, way lower, right? But check this out. I'm going to come in again. You are, again, at barbell bench press height. I am going to go down all the way. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Yeah. This might be doable if you had like flat stock. If you were just like maybe welding up some sheet metal. If you had anything like an exhaust or something, I do think you'd want to be up a little taller than this. But this is still significantly better than that. So we've got that going for us. But I think this is a win. Because again, I didn't buy this for like detailing specifically or just generic around the shop. I specifically wanted this stool to do this because I'd rather spend $80 than $400 to $600, right? I'd still love to get one of those at some point in time, but I think being the cheap, thrifty dude I am, this is nice. You got to realize I've been standing. All the TIG welding I've done, I've been standing. So this is like a big deal, a big upgrade, even if it is $80 on sale upgrade, right? So yeah, I'm gonna roll with this one, pun intended, for the time thing. It's either gonna hold up or it's gonna fall apart. I will tell you, while the magnetic tray is great for wrenching, it would be good for generic DIY crafty wife type scenarios. It kind of sucks for what I do, because what do I do over here and what do I intend to use this for? Welding. And what do I do when I have to TIG weld? I have to prep. And when I prep, what do? I grind or brush, and when I do that, what happens? Shrapnel, grinding dust, debris, and what do magnets do? They catch it. So maybe I can cover them with something, just like cut out a shop towel, tape it, I don't know, throw tape over it, make it easy to clean up, but we'll see. I'll try to make a habit of kind of pushing it out of the way. Granted, I need a bigger shop. I cannot stress that enough. Like, I can't really wheel over that way too much, and I can't really wheel through this gap either, so I kind of picked this up. I picked it up by the seat in hopes of testing it and seeing if it dropped down the base. It did not, so it assembled well. And if I can do this for you, I had to pull that out. Luckily, I can't tell you how many times I get dead-legged by that thing. But this is the little central machinery bandsaw. A lot of you probably have it. I painted mine blue because we're different like that. But this is the height it's at. I've not built a taller stand. In part, I don't have space to do it. If I had space, I probably wouldn't have bought this saw. I'm not gonna lie. It's been good though. But just another sample. We are at the lowest height. This is where we're at. Okay. We come into the US General Master Tech. A ton of you are gonna have this or know how it ranks with like a 4 or 5 drawer cart. Here I am. I think it's raining. Cool. But lowest height right here. I am basically again bench pressing you into the top drawer. You're at the bonus crevice for gloves and dirty shop rags and things to go and be lost of the side tray. If we come in and I go all the way up and we don't fall, we're here again. I can't say this is a broken toolbox, which is just, I cannot stand those things. Anytime I move them, they fall apart. But, and like I tell you all the time, I'm like, if you break in the shop, the ratchet you will walk out of here with is the Matka. I'm not lying when I tell you that. Anything else is locked up unless I'm using it. But this guy, it's the one that sits out. But yeah, this gives you a great idea. This is the side shelf height. Again, right here, I would have 0 issues going into the socket drawer, you know, or like the top drawer, if you will. Top hutch, you're going to need to either be super tall or, you know, willing to lean over and extend your arm some. But anything else here, full access. So if you were doing, say, I don't know, replacing the grill on your car, you come over here, you need your tiny little quarter drive stuff, you've got some hardware sitting, this is great height. The TIG welder, it's a PrimeWeld TIG 225, and this is on just a standard Vulcan cart from Harbor Freight. That gives you a rough idea. I can reach my arm out and I could touch and open the argon. Coming over here, that's not a Harbor Freight card. It's another cheap one though, so it's similar. I would have full access to the top of that. That thing's full of AN fittings and carb parts now. And this is an old cherry picker from Harbor Freight. You know, dates it with the orange color. You're about right at the pivot point. So I think this is actually going to be pretty okay, man. Pretty okay. Looking that way in the shop, right? This is another great thing. That is a old Harbor Freight engine stand, my rickety one. I've since gotten way better ones, but I leave that little 318 hanging out there. And it is right at that height. I could comfortably put exhaust manifolds, headers, freeze plugs, pull the cylinder heads. I think I would be all right doing the intake. I will say, I'm not gonna lie, the carb I'd be reaching, right? It is what it is. If you got a tunnel ram, you'd be really reaching. If you go crazy and put a blower, you'd probably need to stand up. If you're taller, you know, your mileage may vary. Over there is a little Craftsman OG homeowner 26-inch special from back in the 90s at Sears. And that, looking across here, it's somewhere in this top drawer of the US General. You would have full access to that on that top box. I don't have the middle. That was always too expensive for me as a kid. I never understood why the middle cost so much. The middle 3 drawers. If you're from that era or older than me, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Always wanted the middle box, but I was like, that thing is too freaking... It costs more than the bottom for fricks. Anyway, we don't need to go into that, but I would have no problem max height here getting into... I feel like the second drawer, I think third and fourth, we could realistically... Really, the whole thing minus the top, but comfortably I'm gonna say like middle drawer down, we would have full access to that. again, I'm trying to give you like real world scenarios here. If I turn over here, you've got the duster, and I could comfortably work in the door. The door lock rod comes off because you shut the door too hard and you have to erase or something. You got to go in there and reconnect everything. I could take the door panel off. If you were doing speakers in the door, speakers in the kick pan, this is a really good height. Here at max extension. So to put it in perspective over there, you know, we've got the Mickey Thompson's down low. I'd want to drop her down, but I'm pretty happy. This thing swivels really good. I mean, if I had space and didn't have to daintily spin around like a little ballerina or something, I'd be really good. Now this, my little cheapo table, which is sawhorses and plywood, it's like a legit, I could go pin a novel on that thing, right? Very cool. I'm happy. I think we did okay with this. So again, the big thing for me, it wasn't any other purpose. It was, I want this for TIG welding, and I think it's gonna work. I wish it was a little taller, I'm not gonna lie, but it'll be okay. It'll function for me. So if you have one of these, and I assume some of you probably have multiple at this point in time, it's been out a while, most important thing you can do is tell people, how do you like it? Have you had any issues? Case in point, I'm just buying this thing, I'm spinning around, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. You know, if you've had it, if you've been through several of them, you got it warranted, you bought a 2-year plan, whatever, you know, people do. I never do that. But if you did, do the casters go? If you roll it over, just, I mean, say I've got cut angle iron or something and I roll over it on accident, are the casters going to be whacked? Does it just wear out? Does the gas strut go bad after like 3 to 6 months of heavy use, or a year if you're using it at home? I don't know this stuff. I just bought it, and you can come in and help other people out by sort of filling in the gaps with what I don't know yet. I certainly hope it's good. You know, it would suck if it wasn't, but that's a work text, of course. I'll handle that here in a second. But whatever I was saying, you know, I just don't know how this is going to do long term past this. But you know how I roll on cheap little seats. In fact, okay. If we look through the gap, let's see how good this is. Like a I Spy. Okay, there is an orange Ernst organizer that's actually full of the accessories for this table, you know, like your little standoffs and stuff. That is my OG creeper seat. So you can see this is significantly taller. It's way taller than the detail one right there. But that's how I rolled for years. That was like a gift. I don't even know, 16 to 18, I'd have to say. So I mean, I keep things around, short of like the little square tube busting, you know, type of a thing. I'm good. Speaking of leaning back, I did want to check that. I don't know that I'll do it, especially in the space constraints I've got. I'm always about 6 to 8 inches from stabbing myself with a sharp corner. And yeah, you know, I think this will be okay. So again, where you come in is just straight up tell people, hey, you know, that's actually pretty nice. If any of you have something better, tell people what it is, what it cost, where you got it. Again, it may not be Vyper Chair. There could be like a mid-tier, so you could be like, idiot. If you would have just spent $150, you could have gotten something American-made with the best casters in the world. If that exists, I don't know about it. You know, I'm sure somebody's making these things. I don't know if it's a small business, a big company. I don't know if people are going to be like, dude, you should have bought the U-line one for $60. It's twice as good as the Icon. I don't know. So learn from my mistakes and trust the people in the comments and let them tell you, like, hey, you know, that thing is going to be great for like 2 months if you're using it heavy, and then it's going to be junk. Or, you know, hey, I've had mine. I'm on the thing almost daily, and I've never had a single issue with it. You know, it's not going to roll over zip ties, or it doesn't do this, or I have crud get stuck in the magnet, or whatever. Good or bad, just tell people, because again, the end goal, believe it or not, is just to help people. And I'm at a point where I can just tell you, hey, I'm happy now, and that might be great, but I hate to commit to something if it's going to be junk or suck in, you know, 6 to 8 months type of a thing. So with that said, right now, I'm pretty happy. It's quite comfortable. Again, you're talking to a guy that's been standing to practice TIG welding, so anything's really an upgrade over that. But, yeah, I think I'll roll with this little guy. So if I can stand up and not knock anything over, I'll give you one more look at it. I've been sitting in it probably for, I don't know, 10-15 minutes, and I haven't worn the cushion out yet. I'm sure it's coming. You can see right there when I tell you I'm like 6 to 8 inches away. I've got a little Vera hex key that'll stab me. I've got some cut metal. I've got that sharp 90-degree corner on the shelf. Yeah, it's not an exaggeration when I tell you I truly could use more space out here. So it's something I'm working on, and prices are ridiculous. It's kind of deflating, but hey, we're not done cramming this place with tools and parts though, so we got that going for us. But yeah, the magnetic tray, I think for most people it'll be cool. For me, with what I want to do, it's not ideal, but I don't know, doesn't seem to be anything I can do about it. I'll probably just run painter's tape across it, to be honest with you. But grinding discs, stuff to pull accessories on and off, little die grinders, I guess anything else, you know, that I'm like running around, or if I'm like welding V-bands or O2 bungs or something, I could come in and set those down there, type of a thing. But bottom line, for $79.99, I think we did all right, and I'm very happy because I won't have to be standing anymore. And again, where you can come in is, I know a ton of you have had this for a lot longer than me. Good or bad, let people know. Again, there's no shame in getting something thinking it's going to be good and it sucks. That's called being honest, right? That's all it is, man. You don't, everything you buy doesn't have to be perfect and doesn't have to be the best, but if it's good and serviceable, that works too. So, you know, like I say, I always try to be straight up and forward and honest with people. If this goes, maybe it's a Vyper Chair, maybe one of you will leave a comment and be like, hey, there is a sweet spot, 150 to 200. You get a great stool. It doesn't come in the colors, you know, it doesn't come in your choice of powder coat, but it's pretty dang good. Tell people. I mean, heck, it could be your business. Tell someone. But with that said, I'm going to quit rambling. I got to get inside, check my dinner, and guess there's a double header. Oh, that thing's probably burning. I just didn't know it was this late. But yeah, that is the Icon creeper seat. I'm gonna take you over and show dimensions, and then we'll end this thing. All right, I had no idea it was this late, and this is what I was looking for. So if you care, if it's important and you can't find it online, is easy. Your overall weight's probably the most important thing there once you're committed to this. 29 pounds, we'll call it. The frame, they're going to claim 12 gauge steel. It's 3/4 tube. Again, that's really where they could have beefed it up a little bit, maybe even like a 1-inch type of a frame. Overall dimensions, they're going to say 19 1/4 by 19 1/4 by 28 1/4 high. And the seat dimensions, if this matters to you, if you're looking for something wide or you need something narrow, 18 5/8 by 16 1/2 by 9 1/2 tall. Again, 3 3/8 casters. If you're thinking like, hey, I could tweak that and stand her up just as much as I need, go to town, make it happen. Again, I wheel you around, try to do some more scenarios, but I got to get inside and get something out of the oven. So hopefully this helped you. Again, if I'm using this thing and it falls apart in too much, you will know about it. If it's decent, you probably won't hear anything. So if you want to follow up, feel free to ask. But right now, I'm pretty happy, and I'm glad I finally caught the thing on sale. I think $80 is a fair price for it, especially given what some similar items go for. $120, I don't advocate really buying anything full price at Harbor Freight, but if you had to, and it has a good shelf life, I think this is okay. But at the sale price, I'm willing to give it a go, and we'll just take it in stride. If we have to upgrade casters, if we have to upgrade the shock strut, whatever, we'll figure it out over time. But with that said, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, hope you learned a little something. If you have not subscribed, I encourage you to do that. If you do that, ring the bell, jump your charger across the creek, crash down, assemble your Icon professional adjustable shop seat with tool storage. YouTube just might notify you we got new videos every Wednesday and Saturday, 9 a.m. Texas time. With that said, thanks so much for watching. One more thing, blue, red, green, and I did confirm there is a black. So if you're like, man, I'd love that if it was more neutral, get the black one. But that's it. Anything else on this will come over time. Hope you enjoyed. Most importantly, I hope I catch you back here for more from the shop.